5 things to know about the Conference Committee on the Application of Standards this year are the following. First, it's a committee that's a standing committee, which means that it's meeting every year, and it does so since 1926. Its main mandate is to discuss how member states are applying international labor standards. 2 of its main characteristics can be summarized like this. First, it really focuses on promoting a constructive engagement and dialogue between representatives of governments, employers and workers. And as a result of that constructive dialogue and engagement throughout the committee sitting, the committee will be adopting concrete and actionable conclusions so that member states would know how to move forward in further implementing ratified international labor conventions. The second thing to know about this year's Committee on the Application of Standards is that it will be discussing a general survey entitled Ensuring Decent Working Time for the Future. Working time, along with wages, is the working condition that has the most direct impact on the day-to-day lives of workers. This is why hours of work was the subject of the very first convention adopted by the ILO in 1919. So this year the General Survey examines the law and practice across ILO member states in relation to 16 instruments on working time and the organization of working hours and rest periods. It identifies positive trends as well as a number of key challenges and gaps in protection. Among the main challenges identified this year by the Committee of Experts, one can cite the long daily working hours. This is really an important challenge as long daily working hours have a direct impact on the well-being, the physical and the mental health of workers, as well as their ability to maintain a work-life balance. It also stressed the importance of properly regulating new working time arrangements and the impact of modern technology, and yet at the same time ensuring that enterprises can run their business in the most sustainable and yet flexible manner. The third thing that's important to highlight is that it will also be discussing how member states are complying with their obligation to submit reports to the supervisory bodies on how they implement ratified conventions. For the very first time this year, the Committee of Experts has launched a number of urgent appeals, focusing in particular on member states that have serious failure to submit on time their reports on ratified conventions. The fourth thing to know about the CAS is that it will be calling upon 24 countries for which problems of non-compliance with ratified conventions have been identified by the Committee of Experts. Those governments will be called upon to explain to the committee what kind of challenges they're facing and what kind of measures they plan to be taking with a view to improving their records in areas such as either fundamental labor rights, freedom of association, collective bargaining, prohibition of forced labor, child labor or non-discrimination, but also in technical areas such as labor inspection, wages, social security and working time. Through these discussions, member states are held accountable for the conventions they've ratified, and this is the opportunity for them to explain how they commit to improve their compliance with respect to their international obligations. The last thing to know about the Committee on the Application of Standards work this year is that all of these discussions will lead to very concrete conclusions, and those conclusions will enable member states to undertake a number of actions to make progress towards implementing ratified conventions. And based on these very concrete, actionable conclusions, the ILO as an office will also, as a result, be in a position to provide more targeted and focused technical assistance to accompany those member states in making progress towards realizing international labor standards. So, through the work of this Global Forum on Labor Issues, this is how the ILO maintains the relevance of its international labor standards and ensure that they are actually making a real difference in every single workplace around the world.